Okay, let's talk about big changes. What if I told you the secret to massive, life-altering success wasn't some huge dramatic overhaul, but something tiny, like really, really small? That's exactly what we're diving into today with James Clear's incredible book, Atomic Habits. We're going to break down how the smallest possible adjustments can lead to absolutely remarkable results. Let's get right into it. You know, the story of Atomic Habits doesn't start where you'd expect, like in a research lab or some big company. No, it starts right here, with this sentence. A high school baseball accident that was, well, it was nearly fatal. We're talking multiple skull fractures, shattered eye sockets, even a medically induced coma. It was, for all intents and purposes, a complete and total reset. And that moment, that tragedy, it actually became the foundation for his entire life's work. See, his recovery wasn't about some single, heroic leap back to health. It was about hundreds of tiny, almost invisible steps, getting a little stronger in the gym each day, improving just a bit on the field, building a business piece by piece. It all came down to these small, consistent habits. And that's where he stumbled upon a really profound truth about how progress actually works. And that brings us to the first huge idea from the book: the incredible, almost unbelievable power of getting just 1% better. So, what really happens if you get just 1% better each day? I mean, it sounds like nothing, right? We tend to just dismiss it. 1%? Who cares? But the math behind this idea is absolutely staggering. It's all about the magic of compounding. Okay, brace yourself for this. If you get just 1% better each day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. No, you end up nearly 37 times better. That's insane, right? But here's the scary part. It cuts both ways. If you get 1% worse each day, you end up basically at zero. The point is, our habits are always compounding, whether we like it or not, for better or for worse. And look, this isn't just some nice-sounding theory. It's real. Take the British cycling team. For about 100 years, they were mediocre, just totally average. Then, they brought in a new coach who decided to improve everything by just 1%. I mean, everything. The ergonomics of the bike seats, the massage gels, even the pillows the athletes slept on to get slightly better sleep. The result? They went on to completely dominate the sport. It's a perfect example of these tiny gains adding up. All right, so if these tiny changes are so incredibly powerful, why is it so hard to stick with them? Why do we give up? Well, this leads us to a really common pitfall, something James Clear calls the plateau of disappointment. You know that feeling, right? You're putting in the work, you're showing up every day, but you're just not seeing the results. You feel like you're going nowhere. We all expect our progress to be this nice, straight line going up, but the truth is, the really big, powerful outcomes, they're almost always delayed. And that gap between what we expect and what's actually happening can be so frustrating. Clear uses this brilliant analogy to explain it. Think about an ice cube. Imagine it's in a room that's 29 degrees. You raise the temperature to 30, nothing. 31 degrees, still just an ice cube. It feels like all your effort is wasted, right? But it's not. It's being stored. Because the second you hit 32 degrees, bam, the breakthrough happens. It starts to melt. Your habits work the exact same way. All that early effort is just storing up potential until you finally hit that tipping point. So, how do you push through that plateau without giving up? Well, the book argues for a really major mental shift. It's time to stop obsessing over goals and start focusing on your systems. What's the difference? Well, think about it like this. A coach's goal is to win the championship, right? But their system is what they do at practice every single day. It's how they recruit players, how they manage their staff. And here's the key insight. Winners and losers in pretty much any field often have the exact same goals. Everyone wants to win. It's the system, the daily process, that actually makes the difference. Okay, so how do we actually build a better system? The book gives us this super simple but really powerful 4-step framework, and it all kicks off with the very first law: make it obvious. This is the gateway. It's all about designing your world so that it works for you, not against you. Just think about your own day for a second. How many of the things you do are a conscious choice versus just doing what's easiest or most obvious? You grab the snacks that are sitting right there on the counter. You check the phone that's always in your pocket. Your environment is like this invisible hand, constantly shaping your behavior without you even realizing it. So if you want to practice guitar more, don't hide it in a closet. Put the guitar stand right in the middle of your living room. If you want to drink more water, Don't just hope you'll remember. Fill up a few water bottles in the morning and put them everywhere you'll be during the day. See what's happening here? You're making the cue for the good habit impossible to miss. It's not about willpower anymore. It's about making the right choice the most obvious choice. You literally become the architect of your own behavior. And here is probably the most powerful, most stunning example of this in the whole book. For typical heroin users, the relapse rate is sky high, something like 90%. But a study on soldiers who were addicted in Vietnam found something incredible. When they came home, only 10% relapsed. Just 10. Why such a massive difference? Because their entire environment changed. All the cues, all the triggers associated with the habit, they were just gone. It's just a shocking illustration of how much our context, our environment, truly shapes who we are and what we do. But the real reason our habits matter so much isn't just about losing weight or getting a promotion, those external results. It's about something way, way deeper. It's about our identity. It's about who we become. This might be the most important idea in the entire book. True, lasting behavior change is identity change. See, the goal isn't just to read a book, it's to become a reader. The goal isn't just to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. It seems like a small, subtle shift in language, but honestly, it changes everything. Because once you believe something is part of your identity, you will fight so much harder to protect it. So really, this is the question at the very heart of it all. Who do you actually want to become? Because your habits, they're just the way you embody that identity. Every single action you take provides more evidence of who you are. And this vote metaphor is just the perfect way to frame it. Every time you sit down and practice that guitar, even for 5 minutes, you're casting a vote for I am a musician. Every time you decide to take the stairs instead of the elevator, you're casting a vote for I am a healthy person. Each tiny habit is like another piece of evidence you're stacking up, building this rock-solid case for the person you want to be. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway from Atomic Habits. It's this powerful realization that your identity, it isn't fixed in stone. It's something that is being shaped moment by moment by the sum of all your habits. So the question the book leaves us with is this: what is one tiny action, one small vote that you can cast today for the person you want to be tomorrow?